Welcome to the Cryptonomatron, and today's video I'm doing a review on Globitex. Globitex is an exchange for Bitcoin to Euro, and they want to take it further. They want to provide derivative trading, repo, and futures trading for cryptocurrency. So very interesting project. Let's dive into it now and take a closer look at Globitex, the new institutional grade spot and derivative exchange for Bitcoin. So looking at the competition now, it's not traditionally an exchange. This is going to be more focused on institutional investors rather than cryptocurrency traders, for individuals, for example, like myself or yourself. This platform will be used for futures trading, derivatives, repo, and some other stuff as well. And it will also allow investors to buy into Bitcoin using fiat currency. So that's one of the advantages of Globitex. And they also have asset management. So really that's how we classify this, I think, looking at the competition. Now, I found this interesting article from a few months ago written by Emma Avon. She has categorized the top 5 asset management coins, and you know, in crypto 3 months is like 10 years, and things have changed significantly, but there are still some similarities and some competitive elements between these different tokens and different exchanges. So let's have a look. Iconomy is the first one. It's a digital assets platform. It says that aims to facilitate the seamless investment and trade of digital assets. So they're currently trading at a price of about $1, it says here. That's 3 months ago, we have to remember that. Melon as well, another cryptocurrency that's sort of fallen off the radar recently. Melonport is another trading platform. Again, all of these are focused more on institutional investors rather than the individual. And Metaverse ETP is another one from Asia. Then there's Black Moon Crypto, which aims to tokenize funds rather than specific commodities. And Waves at the bottom there, which had the aim of facilitating trading of all kinds of digital assets, as well as commodities in the real world. And Economy there, they call them digital asset arrays. Basically, they are just different ways to deposit your digital assets and use them. And LedgerX was another one that I found after a quick Google. They are looking at a cryptocurrency asset management platform, again, much like what Globitex want to provide with derivatives clearing and trading cryptocurrency or Bitcoin derivatives. And then another one that's still at ICO, seems like it's been on ICO for months and months and months, probably because it has, is Napoleon X, and they've raised about half of what they intended to raise during the crowd sale. So they're also going to have an asset management platform for your cryptocurrency, but they're going to use trading bots as well. In addition to the other competitors we've discussed, it would be remiss of me not to include BitMex in the list of competitors, as they are probably the most similar in terms of competition to Globitex. You know, they are a next generation provider of Bitcoin trading products. They have an exchange platform, and you know, they're working towards providing a more advanced platform rather than the traditional ones that most people are using at the moment that are just for cryptocurrency trading, such as BitREX and most of the decentralized exchanges. So the link to BitMex is below. It is a referral link, full disclosure there. So sign up just in case they, in the future, decide to halt new sign-ups if things get out of control, just like BitREX have done and Binance did for a while. Always get your exchange sign-ups done early on. Don't be lazy. Get yourself signed up and have the account ready just in case they get so busy they have to close registrations. So the main problem they're trying to solve is quite simple. It's the lack of the ability for Bitcoin to scale economically. Now, not technically, we're not talking about, when we talk about scalability, we're not talking about the number of transactions that Bitcoin can perform per second. Yes, that is a technical scalability, but that's not the issue that Globitex want to deal with. They're talking about economic scalability, and economic scalability is simply the ability for a currency or a commodity to be traded for other commodities or currencies. Now, in short, that's called liquidity. And the more liquidity something has, the easier it is to trade with, and therefore the more economic scalability it has. So we can see that Bitcoin at the moment can be exchanged for other cryptocurrencies fairly easy using the typical exchanges that we're all familiar with, but it can't be easily traded for commodities such as oil, gold, pork bellies, you name it. So that is a problem, and in order for Bitcoin to scale up economically, it needs to be liquid in these markets, and it isn't at the moment. So that's what Globitex intend to do. They want to bring both spot and derivative trading, as well as some other features, Bitcoin futures, to the marketplace. So they're going to basically build this on top of their existing exchange platform, and they hope that in the future they will be used as a medium of exchange for institutional investors that allows them to purchase things with Bitcoin, and that will in turn increase the liquidity of the currency. So Globitex already have an institutional grade Bitcoin exchange functioning at the moment with API capabilities, so markets can access it. You can log in, you can use it and sign up, but they want to grow it or scale it to an industrial trading level or an institutional trading level, and in order to do this they're going to have a token sale to raise the necessary funds. Now they're going to then be able to offer more products, which they hope in turn will encourage institutional investors to come in and use their platform. The features that they're going to apply are firstly spot FX and repo, then they will apply money markets and derivatives trading, and then finally deliverable commodity derivatives as well. So the Bitcoin economy and also the Bitcoin Cash economy, let's not forget, they're also accepting Bitcoin Cash on this platform, is set to grow exponentially. I don't have to tell you guys, it's worth billions of dollars at the moment. The market cap is currently just under 400 billion. I just checked it earlier. So it's slipped back from where it has been up to 800 billion total market cap for all cryptocurrencies. But increasingly, people are using cryptocurrencies, whether it's Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin Cash, or one of the other cryptos, to facilitate payments. And a lot of people are finding newer uses for the cryptos. New shops, new retail environments are accepting crypto. People are now being able to get crypto credit cards so they can spend their crypto directly. They don't have to exchange back into fiat. And this market is massive already. So you can just imagine what the market for commodities trading, futures, and other institutional investment opportunities are. And they go through here. It's a very interesting read. I urge you to read the white paper, especially the last chapter. It's very interesting. They compare fiat with Bitcoin payment values in US dollars and how they're growing exponentially through 2011, 2016. And also they compare the number of payments versus Bitcoin versus fiat as well. And you can see Bitcoin is increasing, I think, between 2015 and 2016, almost 100%, whereas fiat is growing steadily, but Bitcoin is growing certainly a lot faster. So I'll draw your attention to this interesting little comparison here. And currently, in 2016 anyway, based on the data from the CIA, there was a estimated US dollar world monetary unit value of all the money in the world of $83.5 trillion, and of which Bitcoin usage in terms of the whole market cap constituted a tiny 0.0794% of the total. So with the increasing liquidity of Bitcoin and the increasing functionality that they're going to bring to Bitcoin trading, they estimate, based on a 5% usage of total money value, bearing in mind that they do believe quite genuinely that Bitcoin could become a global currency used from retail to, again, derivatives and commodity trading and such like. So if only 5% of that were achieved by Bitcoin, then the value of Bitcoin today, with 16.6 million units mined already, would be a whopping 250,000 US dollars. And if Bitcoin was already mined, a total of 21 million units would have been mined, then it would be worth just a shade under 200 million. That's a 5% usage of the total money value. So you can see this is a massive market worth billions upon billions of dollars. And again, you've got to ask yourself the question, at this current stage, and markets are in depression at the moment, Bitcoin's just dipped under $8,000 as of this morning. You've got to ask yourself the question, is it possible that Bitcoin could potentially be at 5% of global currency usage? I don't think that's too far-fetched. So the Globitex token will be the fuel that fuels the ecosystem. It's called GBX is the ticker. It will be an Ethereum platform blockchain that they're using. So utilizing the blockchain, they're going to build modules that control all the different trading mechanisms within the ecosystem. And without getting too technical, we'll discuss what they're going to provide for the traders, the investors, so to speak. The first thing they're going to provide is what's called spot FX and repo. And this is basically going to be the ability to buy fiat currency with or buy Bitcoin with fiat currency, sorry. They're also going to have metal spot contracts, which will be gold initially, and then some others after, possibly silver and some others. So Bitcoin, they say here, is dubbed digital gold. So Globitex will develop an order book and distribution channels for gold bought on Globitex against Bitcoin. So the next thing they're going to offer is money markets and derivatives. So they're going to offer Bitcoin futures. They've been in the news a lot recently with the Chicago Mercantile Exchange getting into them, as well as some others. A lot of discussion in institutional circles about Bitcoin futures. And the money market that Globitex are going to provide is going to be called BBOR, which will be Bitcoin Interbroker Offered Rate. And they're also going to then allow commodity trading, commodity futures and options, and also cryptocurrency futures, swaps and options to boot. And the final part of the plan, stage 3, will be to have deliverable commodity derivatives. So they will have commodities listed on the Globitex index, such as precious metals, livestock, other purchasable items. They will also have a precious metal futures contracts to be physically deliverable, and they will further develop the warehousing infrastructure and expand the spot commodities trading. So as for technical implementation, they already have a working prototype. It was in beta version up until early this year. Now you can actually log in and use it. It only has a couple of pairings at the moment, I think Euro to Bitcoin and one other if I'm not wrong. But the system is there. You can go and look at it. The interface is there. You can check it out. So at least it's something to show us that they're technically adept and they have a minimum viable product for us as investors. So that's interesting. And They go on to describe in the white paper how the prototype works. We won't spend too much time on it. There's no need. If you want to know, please go download or read the white paper yourself. It details the different interfaces that the exchange has. You can see there in that nice infographic. And then it goes on to explain how the core system works itself, the risk management system, the order matching engine, and the clearing and settlement system, and the data feed services, all which are integral to the trading platform. And then they list a number of features that they are going to be adding to the system in due course once they successfully complete the ICO. So the Globitex token itself is an EIP20 token. They say previously ERC20, potato, I suppose, tomato. And it's a Ethereum-based token, obviously. It's called GBX, that's the ticker. It's issued by a private limited company in Gibraltar, where all these ICOs seem to be starting up these days due to the regulations and ease of doing business. But they are actually a Latvian company, it has to be pointed out. AS Globitex Holding are the main company behind this. Now, the purpose of the GBX token is essentially the fuel in the ecosystem of the exchange. And what I mean by that is it will provide the means of settlement of trades on the exchange. It will act or serve to be a commission payment token. And it will also be used within the loyalty programs as well, such as your affiliate schemes and everything else. So the important thing to see, though, from this white paper is that the redeemed GBX tokens are going to be burned, and therefore they will be removed from circulation. Now, this means that the overall value of the cryptocurrency is likely to increase, given that they're employing a burning model, and this should ensure that your investment over time at least retains value or grows in value, because the tokens are becoming rarer. So commissions are to be paid from the exchange every time you exchange tokens, or you buy cryptocurrencies or futures or derivatives. The tokens will be rewarded as a commission, and they will also be part of a loyalty program. So if you hold on to them, or you get people to sign up, and you're a loyal member, then you will receive the tokens as a reward. They do say that the GBX token is expected to have only a 10-year lifetime, during which time the tokens can be redeemed, and loyalty programs and other success-related benefits enacted or claimed. So after 10 years, the company will then review the program and make any adjustments on whether the program will continue or not. So the public sale will begin on the 10th or 11th of February, depending on where you are in the world. Those of you in Australia or New Zealand, it will start on the 11th, and there's about 5.5 days to go, so mark it in your calendars. Let's look at the tokenomics now. As we've said, it is the Globitex token, the GBX. The lifetime of the token is stated here, subject to an extension, as I explained in the last token use chapter. The token is an Ethereum token. It is can be exchanged, at the moment, or bought with Ethereum, Bitcoin, or even Bitcoin Cash, which is interesting. And the price is 10 euros per token. So there is a very, I would say, low hard cap on this project of 10 million euros, and the soft cap is 1 million euros. So I think this will sell out fairly quickly, if I'm not wrong. There's quite a lot of interest in it so far, and given the low token price and the low hard cap, there's quite a good potential for this token to grow in value when it hits the exchange. And minimum purchase amount will be 10 euros. Maximum purchase amount will be 3 million euros. Lucky for you that can afford that. The start date, as I mentioned, is on the 10th or 11th of February, depending where you are. There will be discounts as well, I should point that out. 10% discount for the first 5 million GBX tokens sold, and another 5% discount for the next 10 million GBX tokens sold. There will be additional company success rewards, 10% success rewards for the lifetime of the GBX token. And the distribution will be as follows. 65% of the GBX tokens will be sold to contributors during the ICO. 35% are allocated to the company for future use, including 5% for bounty and referral programs, 10% for business development, and 2 tranches of 10% released every consecutive year following the end of the token sale for further business promotion. There will be KYC to be performed as well. So you'll need to go through a KYC check before you can purchase. So Globitex are running a bounty campaign. It's on their Medium blog, the details, and I will post the link below as per usual in the description. So they have allocated, I believe, 5% of the total number of tokens to the bounty and referral campaigns. And now you can participate till the end of the ICO. They've had round 1 already. Round 2 is current, I believe. Let's just scroll down, have a look. So they have different rewards, and it's distributed as follows. They have a proofreading campaign, which is 5% of tokens. Telegram campaign running 10% of tokens. Twitter campaign running 10% of tokens. Facebook campaign, another 10%. Reddit campaign, 10%. A LinkedIn campaign, which is interesting, not many bounty campaigns have one of those, 15%. Independent review campaign for blog media and vlogging, 25%. A signature campaign for Bitcoin Talk Forum, 15%. And total reward pool, 2% of all GBX tokens sold for this particular part of the bounty campaign. As usual, there are a number of rules that you have to follow and stuff that you have to do, such as join their Telegram chat group, etc. The rules are all outlined in the blog post and all easy to follow. Speak for themselves, really. So if you are interested in joining up, the link is in the description below. And as usual, for full disclosure, I will be submitting this video to their bounty campaign. But again, that makes no difference whether I like this ICO or don't. You know, I don't let the bounty campaigns influence my decisions. If I like an ICO, I'll tell you. If I don't, I'll also tell you. So let's look at the roadmap now. And last year in Q2, they launched their Globitex Bitcoin exchange in beta. They then made the announcement for the ICO last year, Q4. And also they launched Bitcoin Cash trading deposits and withdrawals. They also had a partnership with an electronic money institution. And this year, in Q1, they have opened the public launch of Globitex services. And as I said, you can go onto the website, sign up for the exchange. The token sale is happening imminently, as we know. The launch of additional cryptocurrency trading pairs will happen Q1 2018. I presume they will be picking some of the most commonly traded cryptocurrencies to add to the portfolio. They will launch additional fiat trading pairs in near future. So they've already got Euro. They will most likely add US dollar and pound sterling and some others. They will then, in Q3 2018, launch the OTF, which is the Organized Trading Facility licensing. So then you'll be able to they'll actually be able to trade as an institutional exchange. Q4 2018, the margin trading will launch. Q1 2019, the BBOR, the Bitcoin Interbroker Offered Rate launch. In Q1 2019, they will list Bitcoin settled commodity futures. And Q2 2019, they will list cryptocurrency futures, swaps, and vanilla options. And that will be followed in Q3 by Bitcoin priced Globitex Commodity Index, or GCOM. Then physically deliverable precious metals, and also other commodities as well, which are physically deliverable. So quite a long roadmap over a space of just under 2 years, I think. But they have it well penned out on what they're going to do. It's all detailed in the white paper again and on the website in less detailed manner. So you can go and check it out, exactly what they propose to do. So on to the team now, and they all have a financial background, or most of them anyway. Lisa is the managing director, and she, or Liza even, I don't know how to pronounce that. I would say Liza. Yep, okay, we'll go with Liza. And she is the managing director. She has also worked with MG Capital Group companies, and she was a portfolio manager trading commodity spot and derivatives markets globally, specializing in mainland China markets. So she's got experience where it counts for this particular type of project. John Matonis, you might have heard of before. He was, I believe he was on the board at Bitcoin Foundation, if I'm not wrong. Come on, load. The one thing I must say is the website is not that intuitive, to be honest. It could be done with a better design. Minor niggle, I know, but still annoys me. Yeah, John is the chairman of the management board at Globitex. He served as executive director and a founding board member of the Bitcoin Foundation. So there you go. I knew he had something to do with that. He also writes for Forbes magazine, American Banker, CoinDesk, etc. So his early work on digital cash systems and financial cryptography has been published by Dow Jones and the London School of Economics, as well as by the European Central Bank. So again, he's ideally suited for this project. The rest of the members appear to be Latvian and have been involved in either IT or fintech or even trading before. Overall, what do I think of the team? Well, it's not the strongest team I've ever seen, certainly, but you know, I think it's more than capable of delivering on their promises for this investment exchange. I really don't have any worries or concerns over the team itself. So the only reference I could find to partners was in the roadmap that I already pointed out. They say they have a partnership with an electronic money institution. This is not being expanded on, and I didn't really have time to look through the rest of the social media to find out if there's a name behind this institution or who it was. So yeah, no other partners of note as far as I can see. But they have one in terms of this electronic money institution. So community support is fairly strong with this project. Being that it's an exchange, I wouldn't expect it to be one of the most hyped ICOs out there, and it certainly isn't, but it's got strong support. There are 4,609 followers on Twitter, and I believe their last post was fairly recently, yes, just 12 hours ago, and they do update on a regular basis as well, which is nice to see. They're keeping in touch with the general public. I did a quick Twitter audit, and Globitex is 98% good. So not many fake followers. They haven't tried to build up a fake following. And they have 5,360 members on their Telegram group, which is fairly substantial, especially for a project of this nature. So yeah, very good going forward, and reasonable community support. So yep, that's pretty good for the potential success of this cryptocurrency. Verdict time again, and here are the positives in this ICO as I see them. Number one, and most importantly, it solves Bitcoin's economic scalability problem in that they are specifically looking to get Bitcoin liquid, and if they can do it, it really will be a game changer for Bitcoin, but also for global currency as a whole. If Bitcoin becomes even 1 to 2 to 3% of global currency usage globally, it will just be incredible, and I can't understate that enough. Number two, I like the low token price. It is 10 cents or 0.1 of a euro, if you like, and that's low given the low hard cap as well of 10 million euros. And also the relatively low supply of 154 million. I've estimated that from the figures that were in the white paper. So we can see if you have a supply that's quite low, and that's the total supply, I think, then you are going to have quite a good chance of increasing value of your token. And let's be honest, looking at the other exchange tokens that have launched recently, 0.1 of a euro is not that much to get in to an exchange token at the current rates. So number 5, what I also like about this ICO is it has a working product. The MVP they have is not just a minimal viable product, it's an actual exchange, it's functioning. They have the ability to purchase Bitcoin with euros. If you sign up, you can do that right now. And also they've had it beta tested last year and it's working perfectly. So they have the first rung on the ladder upwards to their goals. Other positives, I just mentioned it, you can buy crypto with fiat. Now, the reason I mentioned this is a positive is other exchanges do not allow you to do this. So it will be the equivalent of using Coinbase or something else. BX I use in Thailand. You can actually go on and use your fiat money to buy into cryptocurrencies. And that's very, very important. And it could be an advantage over certain exchanges that do not have that functionality. Number 7. It's a multi-billion-dollar market, as we pointed out earlier on in the review. The potential here is exponential. It really, really is. If they can harness this institutional money and the investment coming into cryptocurrency, then this could really be on fire. Number 8. The team has experience with institutional investment markets, fund management, that type of thing. So they're well versed in what they're doing. They understand what the requirements are and they have built this product around that. They also, I have to point out, have experience in cryptocurrency. Number 9, just in general, exchange coins tend to do quite well when they come off ICO. For some reason, they do tend to have a lot of buyers and tend to go up in value quite rapidly. Number 10, another positive I see with this project, they have a good spread of products on offer. They're not just a cryptocurrency exchange. They're looking forward to derivatives and commodities trading and everything. So it's not just one thing they're aiming at. They're looking at a spread of products to entice that institutional money. So looking at the negatives now, this project is no exception. It does have a few. I mentioned the website as a negative earlier in the review, and it's just a personal preference over the design. It's quite clunky and ugly. Again, I'd be nitpicking if I put it in the negatives here. But the first negative that I have to say is the GBX token might only be used on the Globitex platform itself. It will likely, however, be adopted in IDEX or Ether Delta. So it might get additional liquidity that way. But again, its main use will be on the Globitex exchange itself. And that could pose a problem for value if it doesn't appear on any other exchanges. Number 2, as usual with these types of things, especially when you're looking at institutional money and investment, there are a lot of hoops to jump through, and regulations and licenses for trading could be an issue in the future. It doesn't look like they're a problem at the moment in Latvia where they are based, but going forward, we have to recognize that could pose a problem, and thus, as investors, be aware of that. Number 3, negative, is Joe Public might be reluctant to use this exchange. They could, other exchanges are already, quite popular, and they're more, say, user-friendly for the layman that just wants to trade one cryptocurrency for another. So in those terms, they might be reluctant to come on a platform that they can't comprehend or fully understand properly. And number 4, success of this ICO will solely depend on user adoption in the medium to long term. So if they don't get the required number of users, they don't get that institutional money coming in, then that could not realize the full value or full potential of this ICO. So the verdict now, and I think this is a potential game changer for Bitcoin. If the institutional money comes in, it will solve a lot of the problems of Bitcoin's economic scalability and global use in mass adoption. We're talking about a potential here that could be phenomenal. And as such, I'm going to have to give this a minimum of 4 out of 5 stars. I see this as It could go two ways, this ICO. This exchange could go into obscurity because it might be that they've bitten off more than they can chew, or I could see this really, being a massive success. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground here. Well, this exchange won't just hobble on with a few currencies, and this is going to go one of the two ways. I think it's going to either fail quite substantially, or it's going to succeed tremendously, and I hope it succeeds tremendously because I will be investing in this ICO, guys. I've got a feeling this could prove quite lucrative, especially with the low token cost, the low hard cap, and the relatively low supply I mentioned earlier. So that's my video of Globitex done. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. If you like the video, please like and subscribe on the channel. We're growing now. We've got over 5,000 subscribers, so that's fantastic. I want to thank each and every one of you that views, that comments, that presses like. It all means something to me. It means the effort I put into this is well worth it if you guys are enjoying it. So again, thanks for watching. And my usual disclaimer, I'm not an investor. This is not investment advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. Blah, 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 blah. I won't bother with it because I'm actually getting a sore throat now from talking so much. So I will sign off, and I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, with another ICO review. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.